Hey everyone, I'm Michaela Vernava with the all-new Toyota Rav4 Hybrid here at Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox. Fenway Park may be the oldest ballpark still standing in the major leagues, but it certainly wasn't the first. In fact, there are many fields that played host to professional baseball over the years in Boston. So with the help of the all-new Toyota Rav4 Hybrid, it's time to know the unknown about the ballparks of Boston's past. Professional baseball in Boston can be traced all the way back to the 1870s, when South End Grounds was home of the Boston Red Stockings, a team that would later become the Boston Braves of the National League. Located on Columbus Avenue, South End Grounds underwent two major rebuilding projects.
The second edition of the ballpark was the prettiest. And until they did the updating of Fenway Park, it was the only double-deck stadium in the history of Boston baseball.
Seating at South End Grounds was limited, and the stadium had strange dimensions with short right and left fields and a deep center. Because of its antiquated features, coupled with the Red Sox moving into Fenway Park in 1912, Braves owner James Gaffney knew he needed to make a change.
The first thing he knew was that if he was going to make a go of it in Boston, he was going to have a bigger venue.
Braves Field was constructed at the site of the Alston Brighton Golf Club and was completed in August of 1915. The Braves' new home, affectionately nicknamed the Wigwam by fans, boasted the largest capacity in baseball at the time. The venue was characterized by its expansive outfield. From the time it opened until 1921, only 2 out of the park home runs were hit at the ballpark.
James Gaffney was a dead ball era aficionado. He wanted inside the park home runs. So he made a field, a playing field, where you could get inside the park home runs.
Because of the number of fans it could hold, it was at Braves Field that the Red Sox hosted the 1915 and 16 World Series.
It was much more capable of handling the crowds. It was much more capable of bringing in more money.
The Red Sox also played select weekend games in the 1920s and 30s at Braves Field, but before the Wigwam and Fenway Park even existed, the Boston Red Sox called Huntington Avenue grounds home from 1901 until 1911. Huntington Avenue grounds was the site of the very first World Series. The Red Sox, known as the Boston Americans at the time, defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates in that series 5-3.
A lot of Pittsburgh players gave the credit to the fans who started singing that Tessie song. And it unnerved their pitchers and helped the Red Sox take the series.
Despite having the distinction of hosting the historic first World Series, the ballpark was not an attractive place to play baseball. The distance to the center field wall was 635 feet. In the outfield, there was a tool shed in the field of play, and the playing surface was far from ideal.
It was literally a wasteland. It was an old circus lot which had a pool in the middle of it. And filling it in, they filled it in with gravel and sand, and so you had a very sandy and a very soft outfield.
Northeastern University now stands on the location of the old Huntington Avenue grounds. A statue of Cy Young and a plaque commemorate where the pitcher's mound and original home plate once stood. As for Braves Field, that site closed for baseball when the Braves moved to Milwaukee in 1953. The land was purchased by Boston University. Now home to the BU Terriers, Nickerson Field is used for college athletics, but it maintains its antiquity. The old ballpark's right field pavilion still stands today, and the concourse looks nearly the same as it did back when Braves fans roved the Wigwam. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to check back on NESN.com to see how far we take the all-new Toyota Rav4 Hybrid.